Hello, Artale Global players. Are you enjoying the game? Many of you are probably working hard to level up and enhance your characters. Today, I've prepared a video to share an interesting story with you. The theme is everything about Maple World. How about taking a short break with me to explore the concepts and stories of the ancient Maple World, which serves as the foundation for Artale? Let's get started. 1. There was no lore. In the early days of Maple World, there was no overarching lore. From the beginning, the game was conceptually focused on adventure. As a result, all players started on equal footing as beginners, exploring and enjoying Maple World freely. However, there were settings borrowed from various cultures and literature. For instance, the iconic maple leaf and geographical motifs of Maple World are said to have originated from Canada. Maple Island is largely inspired by Banks Island in northern Canada, and Victoria Island shares its name with an actual Canadian location. Additionally, the Elnath Mountains are said to resemble the peninsula near Victoria Island. The forest background of the abandoned mine was inspired by Whistler Mountain in the Canadian Rockies, as well as the climax forest of the region. On a side note, there were players who exclusively leveled up on Maple Island. These players were called Islanders, and those who leveled up only using tutorial monsters were known as Campers. I wonder if there are similar players in Artale today. Next, let's talk about the early towns of Victoria Island. Hennessy's, the Archers' Town. Hennessy's is the town of archers, designed with the concept of a typical Southern European countryside. It exudes a similar vibe to Hobbiton from The Lord of the Rings. As a town that all players must visit early in the game, Hennessy's became one of the most populated areas in Maple World. It was a hub for social interaction, where many players formed friendships. However, this popularity also brought some challenges. Players would often create or join guilds here, leading to conflicts such as provoking others, disrupting hunting sessions, and even starting arguments through megaphones. As a result, some players referred to these individuals as Henny-Ho. Elinia, the forest town of fairies and magicians. Elinia is a mystical forest town where fairies and magicians coexist. In keeping with this theme, it is home to a unique witch monster called Malady. Malady was the only monster found in Elinia, and it dropped items like Malady's experimental frog, which was essential for quests, and the red whip, one of the most coveted items at the time. This made Malady a frequent target for players seeking these treasures. Elinia drew significant inspiration from The Lord of the Rings, evident in the inclusion of elements like Balrog, Arwen the Fairy, and Mithril, all directly borrowed from Tolkien's work. Further parallels can be found in the resemblance between Gandalf and Saruman, and the character of Grendel, the really old. The fairy town of Elinia mirrors Lothlorien, while the contrasting areas such as the Ant Tunnel and Moria highlight the heavy influence of Tolkien's world. Additionally, the concept of mistrust towards humans and the naming of regions with unique phrases like "inside the dangerous forest" or "the tree that grew" is reminiscent of Tolkien's Midlands and other lore elements. This suggests that The Lord of the Rings profoundly inspired both the setting and the overall design of the game. Parion, the town of warriors. Parion is the warriors' town, said to have been founded by a native warrior named Hyperion. The indigenous people of this region appear to have been inspired by the indigenous peoples of the Americas. The names of NPCs, such as Black Bull and Dances with Balrog, follow a naming style reminiscent of Native American traditions, with Dances with Balrog believed to be a parody of the movie Dances with Wolves. The desolate landscapes and map designs also draw from these cultural inspirations. Coupled with its identity as a warrior's town, Parion became a frequent destination for players seeking a sense of adventure and romance in the game. Kerning City, a modern slum-inspired town. Kerning City stands out as a modern slum-themed town in the predominantly fantasy-themed Maple world. Its urban design aligns perfectly with the rogue class's aesthetic, giving the impression of modern hip-hop culture brought into the game. According to the official website at the time, the town's backstory was that people from another world, wandering through Maple World, settled and built a city for drifters. The unique vibe of Kerning City made it a favorite location for many players, offering a refreshing contrast to the more traditional fantasy settings of other towns. Sleepywood, the swamp dungeon town. Sleepywood is designed as a swamp dungeon with marshy terrains leading to the town and the massive underground dungeon known as the Ant Tunnel. In the early days, it was both a popular hunting ground and one of the most intimidating areas for players. The concept of Sleepywood is inspired by Cambodia's Angkor Wat. Additionally, the NPCs, Krishrama and Sabatrama, draw inspiration from Indian yoga traditions. Sleepywood is also notable as the location where the game's original top boss monster, Balrog, would appear, cementing its status as a legendary and fearsome destination in Maple World. Nautilus Harbor, the pirate's home. Nautilus Harbor is designed as the home of pirates, centered around a whale-shaped pirate ship known as the Nautilus. The ship's interior is structured into multiple floors, reflecting the layout of a fully functional vessel. The theme draws heavily from European pirates, with most NPCs dressed in pirate-style attire to match. A unique aspect of Nautilus Harbor is that its captain, Chiron, is not human. This detail mirrors Hennesys's archer instructor, Athena Pierce, who also isn't human. However, unlike Athena Pierce, whose non-human nature is apparent from her appearance, Chiron's identity is less obvious, often surprising players who discover her true nature. 2. Races. Maple World is home to a variety of races, including humans, fairies, halflingers, dragons, whales, and hoblins. Expanding further, you can include creatures like the Moon Bunny from party quests and events, the pandas from Mulung, and the aliens from Omega Sector. Humans. Humans are the most populous race in Maple World. However, compared to other races, they have relatively short lifespans. Adventurers who step into Maple World all begin their journeys as members of the human race. Fairies. Fairies reside in Ilinia and Orbis. While similar in appearance to humans, they have distinct physical differences, such as wings, and enjoy much longer lifespans. In Ilinia, the fairies are led by Rowan the Fairy. As more humans began to populate the town, the fairies started to view them unfavorably. This sentiment is evident in the way they interact with adventurers, often speaking curtly during quests. Dragons and Halflingers. Dragons and Halflingers are races that inhabit Leifer. The relationship between these two races is evident in Leifer's design and lore. Dragons, led by Nine Spirit, protect the Halflingers. In return, the Halflingers take on the role of caretakers, raising the dragons as they grow. Dragons are scattered across vast fields such as Minar Forest, forming a prominent presence in the area. However, if you define true Piyup dragons strictly, only a few qualify, such as Horntail, Manon, and Leviathan. The rest are reptilian creatures that have evolved to resemble dragons. Whales. The whales are a race known for their amicable relationship with humans. A notable member is Cheryl, the Prince of the Whales, who is deeply in love with Kieran, the captain of the Nautilus and leader of the pirate job class. Uniquely, whales have a custom where they collect and present beautiful crab claws as a proposal gift to the one they love. Hoblin. Hoblin has a goblin-like appearance, with Shamos from El Nath being a prominent example. In Shamos's case, he transformed from a human into a Hoblin. As a human, Shamos wielded magic capable of disrupting the world's balance, and as a consequence of this sin, he was turned into a Hoblin. Furthermore, Hoblins are known to have poor relations with halflingers. According to legend, Hoblins were originally halflingers, but were transformed into grotesque beings and exiled after committing sins. Additionally, the pandas of Mulung are a species training to become immortals. In Omega Sector, there are aliens like Median and Gray. Interestingly, Pink Bean is also considered an alien, since it was summoned from another dimension. Alishar and Papulatus, despite being otherworldly entities, are classified as demons. Lastly, there are deities present in the Maple world. One of the most notable examples is Minerva the goddess, who can be encountered through the Orbis Party quest. As you may know, the Orbis Party quest revolves around rescuing the goddess who has been sealed away by Papa Pixie. Participants must collect pieces of the statue of Goddess to accomplish this mission. Additionally, it is revealed that Chamberlain Eek was, in fact, the Chamberlain serving Minerva. 3. Civilizations and eras. The Maple world once had kings ruling over each region, and a hierarchical social structure was in place. For example, in Ariant, which will be introduced in Artale, a kingdom led by a king and queen exists. However, beyond such examples, the Maple world generally maintains an egalitarian social status. Each region's unique characteristics highlight the diverse civilization levels across Maple world, including disparities in technological development between the modern and ancient eras. This makes Maple world a true hybrid fantasy, where all these elements coexist harmoniously. Even setting aside technological aspects, the eras represented by each region resemble a collective depiction of human history. Parion and Leifer represent tribal societies. Hennessy's, Elinia, Orbis, Elnath, and Ludibrium evoke medieval European settings. Magatia reflects early modern Europe. Ariant draws inspiration from pre-modern Arabia. Sleepywood mirrors pre-modern Southeast Asia. Mulung resembles pre-modern East Asia. Kerning City depicts a modern urban area. Omega Sector portrays a futuristic city. Through this diversity, Maple world encapsulates a wide range of historical and cultural eras. This diversity is also reflected in Maple world's overseas travel content. For instance, the Mushroom Shrine, with its samurai and shrine maiden motifs, suggests a connection to Japan's Sengoku period. Similarly, Showa Town, as its name implies, represents Japan during the Showa era. Modern-day settings include Taiwan, Siomunjong, Thailand, Floating Market, and China, Shanghai Waitan, showcasing an array of different time periods and cultural backgrounds. Truly, Maple world is a grand tapestry that brings together every era, from ancient to modern times, offering a comprehensive glimpse into various historical and cultural landscapes. Today, we explored the fascinating aspects of the Maple world, a topic that many players might find intriguing. Did you enjoy it? At Artale, we won't stop here. Beyond cherishing nostalgic memories, we're also preparing original content to provide even more fun and satisfaction for our users. If there's any content you'd like to see, please leave a comment. Your subscriptions and likes mean a lot to us and are a great source of motivation. We'll be back with more exciting videos next time. Thank you for watching.